One of the signatures for Cartier is that beautiful off-white or white dial with the Roman numerals. So you don't see a whole lot of different dial color variations from them, but we've got a quartet of beautiful blue dial Cartiers to show you this morning. It's interesting to see a company that's about 175 years old try to keep things fresh with new designs, new watches. Really, at Cartier, they've sort of reinvented the entire watch line, and yet they've stayed true to their corporate DNA, the sort of icons and motifs of their design elements. And one of the things that they're really known for is that white dial or off-white with the Roman numerals. It's really a signature Cartier look. But they don't do a whole lot of different colors. But it's interesting, when I saw this Rotonde come in with this just striking, beautiful chronograph dial with the silver subdials and the dial in blue, the Roman numerals in bright white, I knew we had to do a video about it. Penny agreed, so we went with it. So we've got 4 really cool blue dial Cartier watches here, and I'll just show you each one sort of briefly. This is the Rotonde. You know, this is the one that Blake's a huge fan of. And I'm surprised he didn't grab this one and go with it, but because the dial is just so good looking. Victoria says it's just delicious. And the feel of the watch, it's a 40 millimeter case. It's a little bit on the thick side, which is great. It's got a modern feel. It looks great. It feels great on the wrist. And the star, of course, of the Rotonde is that in-house manufacture caliber movement, which they show off through the exhibition case bag. And this is a serious movement. It's all handmade. It is fully decorated. It is all completely in-house developed. And it's the 1904 that we've seen in a lot of their watches. But the chronograph mechanism on it just feels buttery smooth. It's a vertical clutch column wheel mechanism. So when you press the buttons to stop and reset, it doesn't take hardly any effort. And yet it's a real positive feel when you press the buttons to use it. And of course, this one is not a dive watch. It is water resistant, but you don't have to unscrew pushers or anything to use them. The crown doesn't screw down. You're ready to wind at any moment. And it's just aesthetically a really, really good looking watch. So the first thing a watch has to do is look good, and then it has to function in my mind. So this one really checks all the boxes though, because mechanically it's an absolute feat of engineering. But the design element on it is really fantastic as well. It's got lugs that are a little bit downturned, so it even fits nicely on a smaller wrist. It does have the date aperture at 6. It doesn't have a running seconds hand, but because it's a vertical clutch system, you could run the chronograph all the time and it not be in any danger of hurting the movement at all. So that could take care of the seconds for you. But that's why it only has the 2 registers, and there's not any sort of a seconds hand built into one of those sub registers. So beautiful watch. This one is the same movement essentially. This is the Cartier Calibre Diver. A lot of people just call it the Diver. It similarly has the downturned lugs. These are much more pronounced the way they turn down, so it'd be great for a smaller wrist because the strap can just immediately head down the sides of the wrist. The bezel on this one is ceramic, and it's a brighter blue. And when you turn it, it just feels like quality. It's such an easy turn, and it has very nice feeling clicks to it that it just feels like this is something that they've really thought out well and manufactured really well. It has, of course, the matching blue stone on the crown, and this one has the running seconds at 6 and the date aperture that shows 3 days. It's a larger date window at 3 o'clock. The dials on these are always really interesting to me. It's a 42 millimeter watch, so they had plenty of real estate to deal with, but it has a really oversized 12 and the word Cartier. It has the Roman numerals on the top and batons on the bottom to make way for the sub-dial at 6. It is a diver watch, so it doesn't have the exhibition case back. It's water resistant to 300 meters and still uses that same in-house manufacturer caliber movement. So that's a great choice for an all-steel watch with the blue dial and bezel. It also comes in blue with the steel watch with rose gold bezel if you want that little flare of gold on it. This one is the Tank MC. And of all the Tank watches, you know this is my favorite because, again, you've got the in-house 1904 manufacturer caliber movement and the deployant buckle plus the blue stone on the crown. The case is curved with the wrist, so it's easy to wear. And even though dimensionally it's not as large as the other watches, because it's square wears bigger, it still looks like a big watch on, which is just a great proportion for a man's watch from the Tank series. Now this one has the guilloche dial. I didn't mention it on the Rotonde. The dial on it is a different finish. It's sort of a guilloche in the middle, and then it has a sort of snailing around the edge in the circle where the Roman numerals are. And on the diver, again, you have the snailing where the Roman numerals are. This one is a full guilloche with the handmade engraving that is certainly one of those signatures Cartier is known for. The blue on this one's a lot darker. It's a little bit difficult to read if you're a little visually impaired. This is a watch that definitely has more of an aesthetic look. It's not quite as practical as far as the legibility goes, but if you're a fan of the Tank, you're going to love it. Now this one, the dial is more of a sunray effect, and it is a darker blue also, but as you move it in the light, it'll really catch that blue. This is the Santos de Cartier, which has the quick change system where you can size it by taking links in and out of the bracelet yourself with no tools. It has the bracelet that comes off and you can change it to a strap back and forth real easily. And this is sort of the modern logical conclusion of the Santos series. It's really the greatest Santos I think they've ever made, going back over 100 years. So any of these are in stock right now, but if you just search on our site, Blue Cartier, you'll see everything that's available. It'll probably pull up a lot of choices because on Cartier watches, the hands are typically blued and they usually have the blue stone on the crown. So it'll pick up a lot when you say Blue Cartier, but you can scroll through and see what's available. Give us a call. We'll be happy to help you sort through the website. And don't forget to click to like and subscribe and hit the bell.